Collins with the Town of Ridgeland Fire Department. Hope to share a couple of safety tips with you today. One of our biggest things we like to do is educate the public about what's the best ways to keep safe through house fires. There's several fatalities every year, unfortunately, through house fires. Last year, it was approximately 3,000 people died inside house fires. And so that's why we find it so important to tell people some tips. And one, especially for younger fellows, because they are the ones that we find a lot of time kind of run and hide. And so we always like to tell you different principles. One being is we always like to tell you to have a map planned out for you and your parents. And if you go home and tell mom and dad you want to find an escape route, and so that way if you did have a fire, you would know how to come in and out, and maybe y'all would meet out front somewhere like by the big palm tree, or you would go meet by the mailbox. That way that people won't go back inside trying to find it. Everybody just knows where to meet and what spot to meet at. The other thing is we can ask mom and dad, what about our smoke detectors? And are we checking those regularly? We always tell people when you change your clock to go ahead and change your smoke detector batteries to make sure that they are in good shape and ready to go, and you can test them. Also, another thing we like to talk about is, do you know your address, and do you know your parents' numbers? Do you know things like that? So when you call 911, if your parents have an emergency or a house fire, we can eventually figure where you're at, but it makes a lot of difference, makes a big difference, and it's important for you to be able to tell us your exact location. So now, another thing we like to do in case of a medical emergency is we like for you and your parents to have a list that you put on your refrigerator just on a magnet that has your medications, what you're allergic to, and any other illnesses that you have. So when we get there and maybe you're not feeling well, we can go there and look and say, we want to know how to treat you the best. Lastly, if there ever is a fire, the number one cause for kids getting hurt in a fire is they go to smaller places and hide. We don't know why that is, but they again and again, when kids get hurt in fires, they go and they hide in their closet or they get under their bed because they're scared. And those are the worst places we can go, because we're not going to be able to know where you're at, and neither are your parents. So one, we want you to have that escape route. But two, if you can't, you shut your door and you stay in the open. So when the firemen come in to search, they can find you. Eventually, as we continue to do online fire prevention and in person, we like to show you what we look like with our gear on, because we can be kind of scary to some people, and we make different noises and so forth, but it's just to protect us so that we can come in and help you.